Let's do a TEAS scientific reasoning question on a high priority essential topic. Everyone is always super confused about what this section actually looks like. So question 5 of the TEAS science practice test, scientific reasoning. A student measures how much oxygen is produced by a plant at different conditions. And then we have this table here. Which conclusion is best supported by the data? And we have 4 choices, but I'm not even going to read them right now because I want to show you the strategy for this type of question. I can almost guarantee that you'll see at least one TEAS question like this where you get a table of data and you have to draw conclusions. So here's what you do. The first thing is you stop. You ignore the answer choices and instead you look at the table. Okay? You figure out what the table is showing. That means you read the question carefully, you read the titles of the table, you look at the columns, and you look at the numbers. Then you ask yourself, what is the table showing? Well, here, the question says a student is measuring oxygen produced by a plant. Now, take a look at the table. When there is no light, this much oxygen gets produced. When there is low light, this much oxygen gets produced. When there's medium light, you get the idea. So what's the point? We're getting more and more light. No light, low light, medium light, high light. And as light goes up, what happens to oxygen? We get more and more oxygen. 0.5, 2.1, 4.3. More light, more oxygen. Boom. Now, we know what the table's saying, so let's look at the answer choices. First, we're going to get rid of the ones that we know are immediately wrong. A, increasing light intensity always increases oxygen production at the same rate. I don't know, we got to think about this for a little. It doesn't totally jump out at us as wrong, so we're going to leave it for later. B, the plant produces the same amount of oxygen in all light conditions. What do you think? This is clearly wrong. It doesn't produce the same amount. It produces more oxygen with more light. Cross it off. 1 down. Next, C. Oxygen production increases with light intensity, but the increase becomes smaller at high light levels. This is another one we got to think through, so we'll save it for later. Finally, D. The plant only produces oxygen when exposed to high light levels. Thoughts? No way. When there's no light, even when there's no light, the plant produces a small amount of oxygen. Trash it. So now pretty easily, we've gotten rid of 2